in reiterating the situation, again on August 7, 2009, I filed a civil rights complaint in the United States District Court, District of Colorado. And I sued the Social Security Administration because everybody in the United States that has a Social Security card or Social Security number, when they were born, when you were issued a birth certificate, you were basically given a lump sum of money at your birth through the Social Security Administration. So the money that they pay us through Social Security when we get age is basically the money that they stored up for us when we were born. I sued FEMA because FEMA is in charge of protecting us in the event of natural disasters, and I sued the state of Colorado because the state of Colorado has the obligation of providing for our security, welfare, and defense, and in time of natural disasters, but it's on the governor to apply to FEMA for assistance. I have demonstrated that the earth is presently off tilt. Now, at the time that I filed my lawsuit in August of 2009, the earth was off tilt, and I was more so anticipating certain things to occur. So in anticipation of those certain things to occur, I filed this lawsuit pursuant to the Robert T. Stafford Disaster Relief and Emergency Assistance Act. Now, under that act, it basically says that the functions of the Federal Emergency Management Agency include the following: carrying out its mission to reduce the loss of life and property and protect the nation from all hazards, of mitigation by taking sustained action to reduce or eliminate long-term risks to people and property from hazards and their effects, through evacuating potential victims through providing food, water, shelter, and medical care to those in need, and through restoring critical public services, of recovery by rebuilding communities so individuals, businesses, and governments can function on their own, return to normal life, and protect against future hazards, of increasing efficiencies by coordinated efforts relating to mitigation, planning, response, and recovery. So basically what they're saying is that whenever the government anticipates a natural disaster, they're supposed to mitigate the effects, even if it includes evacuating potential victims, providing food, water, shelter, restoring critical services, and rebuilding communities. So in my lawsuit, I basically asked the government to start making preparations for the seismic events that are going to happen, and to make preparations for the increasing solar radiation that's entering into our atmosphere, and to make preparations for the other collateral consequences of our obliquity roll. In my claim, I made a number of future predictions. First and foremost, I told them that in the summer of 2012, the planet Venus was going to eclipse the sun at the same time the moon was in partial eclipse. The earth was going to be at a 0 degree incline. Magnetic field was going to drop. That there would be nothing to block the solar wind, and that the first thing that was going to happen was the solar wind was going to burn a hole in our atmosphere, and that the atmosphere was basically going to recede like a scroll, and then fire was going to come down from heaven to the earth in the sight of man. Now, under the Stafford Act requires that in order for an individual to have jurisdiction in order for an individual to have standing to sue under the Stafford Act, the president has to declare a state of national emergency. Now, at the time that I filed my lawsuit in August of 2009, the president hadn't declared a state of national emergency. However, at paragraph 20 in my lawsuit, I clearly told him, I said, For these reasons, the stage is already set for a declaration of martial law on 10/10/09. The reason why I chose 10/10/09 is because it's the ninth year, the 10th month, the 10th day of the month. So if you take these, you got 911. And as you know, 911 is the number that we dial when we have an emergency. So basically what I was telling them is that we was going to have, and that the situation was going to rise to the level of an emergency in October of 2009. Now, this right here is a judgment of dismissal. It says, pursuant to and in accordance with the order of dismissal entered by the Honorable Zeta L. Weinshank, Senior Judge, on October 21st, 2009, it is hereby ordered that judgment is entered in favor of the defendants and against the plaintiff, dated at Denver, Colorado, this 21st day of October 2009. So basically they came and they dismissed my lawsuit on October 21st, 2009, because they said the president hasn't declared a state of national emergency, so therefore you have no valid claim. This right here is a press release regarding a declaration of a national emergency with respect to the 2009 H1N1 influenza pandemic by the President of the United States of America, a proclamation. It says, now therefore, I, Barack Obama, President of the United States of America, by virtue of the authority vested in me by the Constitution and the laws of the United States, including sections 201 and 301 of the National Emergencies Act, and consistent with section 1135 of the Social Security Act, do hereby find and proclaim that given that the rapid increase in illness across the nation may overburden healthcare resources, and that the temporary waiver of certain standard federal requirements may be warranted in order to enable U.S. healthcare facilities to implement emergency operations plans. The 2009 H1N1 influenza pandemic in the United States constitutes a national emergency. Accordingly, I hereby declare that the Secretary may exercise the authority under sections 1135 of the Social Security Administration to temporarily waive or modify certain requirements of the Medicare, Medicaid, and state children's health insurance programs, and of the Health Insurance Portability and Accountability Act privacy rule throughout the duration of the public health emergency declared in response to the 2009 H1N1 influenza pandemic. And then it says, in witness whereof, I have hereunto set my hand this 23rd day of October in the year of our Lord 2009, and of the independence of the United States of America, the 234th Barack Obama. So there you see it, ladies and gentlemen. The President of the United States on October 23rd, 2009, 2 days after they dismissed my lawsuit for the fact that the President hadn't declared a state of national emergency, he declared a state of national emergency.